The new defensive coordinator of the Colts, Lou Anarumo, joins us now. And Lou just said, hey, you know what? Enough the general manager. Let's talk some defense right here.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about that, but
I'm kind of putting words in his mouth right there a little bit. How you doing, Lou? It's good to see you, man.
Doing great. Great to be here.
Good to have you on the show. How did all this evolve to the time where, that was your final days with the Bengals, and then you ended up with a new gig here in Indy?
Yeah, just a conversation between Shane and I, and that kind of sparked it. And, great respect for him, and always going against him both at the Chargers, Eagles, and then in Indy, we played you guys when I was the Bengals in 23. So know each other through that way and always competing. And, again, we had a conversation, and the rest is history, as they say.
Is that how a lot of these relationships – I don't know how deeply, as far as relationship-wise goes, you were with Shane prior to this, but – was it mostly just kind of a bonding through competing versus one another?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We certainly knew of each other and then got to know each other a lot better through this process. But, great guy. Looking forward to getting to work.
Lou Anarumo was with us, the new defensive coordinator. So as of right now, and again, everything can evolve, and it will evolve. It always does in an off season. What do you think about looking at this defense of the past year? The cards that you've been dealt, at least at this point. What do you think?
Well, super excited to get to work with these guys. You talk about some premier guys up front, and Kenny Moore in the back end, Zaire, what he did last year in terms of production. So, it's a good group to work with for sure. I think that as we all look back on our seasons from a year ago, there's things we can improve on, including myself. But, man, I'm anxious to get to work with these guys.
All right, so full disclosure, when we were off the air, I'm trying to get Lou to play pickup hoop with us tonight, and he's declined, much like everybody does on this show. But we're trying. It's funny.
Maybe pickleball.
Oh, really? Pickleball guy, are you? So we may have a tournament one of these days.
Yeah, let me know.
I say this. I've never played pickleball before, but I think I can go out there and be dominant. Is that false?
I got to be honest. That's what I thought. And
that didn't happen?
And that 75-year-old lady down in Florida got me. No, I'm kidding. It's tough. It's like anything else, but it'll get you going.
Lou Anarumo was with us. I mentioned this. I equate this to basketball. Everybody wants to play up-tempo and fast and full court, but, man, you have to be equipped. You have to have the personnel. All fans want to see an up-tempo, big-time, over-the-top type of defense, going after everything and, getting after the quarterback every single play, blitzing every single play. But you have to have the personnel. How close are you with looking at this personnel compared to what you idealize as far as what you want with this group?
Yeah, I think, as we continue to go through that evaluation process and we look at these guys, and then, every game plan is going to be different based on who we're playing. Some games, you're going to play, the elite quarterbacks, the Mahomes of the world, and those type of people. And that game plan with the aggressiveness may not suit, one against maybe somebody else, but you always want to try to keep those guys off balance. So at the end of the day, it's a balancing act of, what you want to do in terms of pressure and whether you do pressure a guy or whether you don't.
What best benefited you in your days in Cincinnati? Because we saw the success you had. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. And everybody always equates your success to having really talented guys on the back end, especially at safety. Does that equate to the type of success you look for? And everybody brings up Jesse Bates that you had, who ended up in Atlanta. But what are you looking for as far as secondary concerns with this?
I just think at the end of the day, any coach will tell you the better the players, the better the coach you'll be. But we want guys that are going to be smart. They're going to play physical and play fast. And you hit those three categories, and if we get a lot of guys that are working towards a common goal, we'll be just fine. And I think that's a part of the makeup and the fabric of what's already in that building that Chris has put in and Shane. So you have Jesse Bates. You're going to be a really good coach. We had Von Bell paired with him back there, and it was a good combination. But I feel like Nick Cross is a young, upcoming player I've watched, and there's some holes to fill, but that's everybody. That's every football team at this point of the season.
Do you value that safety position any more than you do other positions, or are they all the same to you?
I think that I think you would say corners and rushers. You know, the more of them, the better. But certainly the way the game has evolved, I think you're going to need some guys back there that can go get the football too.
Do you have other options, other opportunities outside of this one that maybe evolved, or was this thing? It seems like this is pretty tight from your end of days with the Bengals to ended up getting this gig.
I mean, this was this one when Shane reached out to me. I was excited about it for a lot of reasons, and I'm glad it worked out here.
So Lou Anarumo is the new defensive coordinator of the Colts. Your best of days there, how would you describe them in Cincinnati? What were you doing where you thought, you know what, this is the highest level this defense played for me as you were there? What were you doing?
Well, I mean, walking off the field, you're asking game specific?
Yeah, just game specific. I mean, just consistency speaking.
Yeah,
Lou.
well, the consistency of the second half of the AFC Championship game that we beat the Chiefs. First half, we were not. They came out firing on all cylinders, and then we were able to really kind of settle down. Had a huge play at the end of the half, and then come out in the second half and really, you know, take advantage of some things. And we created turnovers, and when you can do that, you're going to beat anybody. But walking off that field, knowing you're going to the Super Bowl was pretty special.
Are there have-tos defensively within what you're teaching here, as far as we got to go out there every single day and we got to do this, we got to do that?
Yeah.
Where do we begin?
I think at the end of the day, if you know, any good football team on defense, you're not going to allow explosive plays. You're going to take the ball away, and you're going to keep the quarterback off balance. And if you can, it's a passing league these days, and you know, you're going to be able to, obviously don't want to give up a ton of rushing yards either, but the teams that are you know, consistently in the playoffs, you know, they're throwing the ball to win, and I think that you got to be able to defense the quarterback these days more than ever before.
So how many years were you in West Lafayette?
I was there for 8 seasons.
8 seasons?
8 seasons. Joe Tiller, unbelievable man, God rest his soul. Yeah. I was with Joe for the majority of it. Finished up with Danny Hope, but it was a great time. My family would probably call West Lafayette home if you ask my kids. But great friends there, and you know, they're excited about being back in.
How much did you learn from that whole process that you put to good use today and what you do?
Oh, I mean, like I said, Joe was terrific in so many different ways, just on managing a team, and I was fortunate. He would call me in his office and kind of let me in on some of the things that, you know, as just as a DB coach at the time, let me know on, you know, hey, this how we're handling this issue, this how we're handling that issue. So I learned a ton, and you know, the Big Ten is you know, was always a great conference, and certainly was great back then.
Did you play in high school?
I did. Yeah.
Staten Island.
Time. Good old Staten Island, Wagner High School. So
who outside of you or celebrity-wise that we would know from your high school, Staten Island?
Well, I don't know about my high school, but you know, my dad went to college with Richie Kotite. Used to be a coach in the league. You know, there's a bunch of other famous Staten Island people. Jeff Stoutland, the O-line coach for the Eagles. Yeah. Just won the Super Bowl. Jeff's a Staten Island guy.
Seems like you guys, because I hear about it all the time. I'm always bring up the SNL skit, the walking in Staten. Have you seen that before?
I have.
Yes.
I have. It's quite.
Is it accurate?
It's quite the place. Trust me.
Do you got like turkeys running around there?
There are turkeys.
Why do the turkeys run around Staten Island, Lou?
I have no idea.
Do we know? Somebody's wanted to see you right there.
I have.
See, I'm telling you, you're already a superstar right here.
It's all my my Bengal fans. So
yes. Did you like it there?
Yeah, it was a great time. Great town.
But not a Reds fan.
You know, it's just hard to break away when you're a Yankee fan for all those years. Growing up, you know, Derek Jeter, how do you top that? But went to a ton of Reds games and enjoyed it. But Yankee fan through and through.
Tucker Barnhart, who played in Cincinnati, he may have been there when you were there for a minute too. The catcher is a really good friend of mine, a really good friend of the show. So yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Hey, Lou. Great to meet you.
My
Congratulations
pleasure.
on the new gig.
Thanks for having me.
We're playing at 9 o'clock at Center Grove High School tonight.
And I think I have like 18 interviews tonight.
What do you? Oh, do you? Oh, yeah. You got to do work, don't you?
I do.
All right. Well, we can play Sunday morning, too. You get up at 8 o'clock Sunday morning? What do you think?
I'm good.
All right, then.
Let me know.
Maybe some pickleball. You and I.
Could work.
Would you like to be my first opponent in pickleball?
Yes.
I've never played before in my life.
Yes.
All right. Would you whip my ass?
I'd say probably yes.
I don't know, Christian. Christian knows I'm pretty damn athletic right here, buddy.
Christian's the man. As I'm
Lou,
getting to find
pleasure to meet you, buddy.
My pleasure. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Lou Anarumo right there is the new defensive coordinator of the Colts. Let us take a break, and we shall come back. That is Lucas right over there, who is attending his first combine from the Netherlands, from what I hear right there. From the Netherlands. We'll talk to him coming up, too. And more on the Pacers Nuggets from last night. I'll give you my take again on Jokic, who was incredible in his distribution last night, and the Nuggets win over the Pacers. That and more. Don't go anywhere. The 2025 NFL Combine, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.